Okay. Happy Yud Ches Tammuz fast day, right? Not my thing. I do it because I have to. I believe in bringing out the good in everything. So this is a day to tap into our outrage. Okay? That's what this is for. So I have a very incredible, this is the most incredible sikha I've ever heard. Good morning, everyone. This is the most incredible sikha I've ever heard. This is the greatest, good morning. This is the most inspiring sikha I have ever read in my life. I shouldn't say read. I saw the video, okay? When I saw this video, Caravel Taint! The Rebbe screaming. Okay, I'm sorry that scared everybody and they had to turn the volume down. The Rebbe screamed, okay? Screamed. See the video. It shook me to the core, okay? I saw this 21 years ago, maybe. Saw the video. At that moment, everything changed in me. I started writing. I started going crazy. Okay? I haven't stopped since, but certain times in my life, there's ebb and flow. I feel it. I just say that because now, obviously, I've gone crazy since Purim. And, you know, this sikha, this is the core. Caravel Taint is the core. That is the power of the outrage, of to tap into energies that you have to take in to change, to say, this is God's Torah. I am going to follow it as best as I possibly can. That's not the same for everybody, okay? Everyone has their level. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you to love God. That's all I'm saying. And express it through trying to live the way He wants you to. Okay? And not a horrible thing. It's just put in that context. This is someone you care about. It's God. Okay, I'm fasting, obviously. It's very hard for me to talk. I'm sorry. And it's a little bit long. I don't have much time. Very late today because I was up all night eating pizza. Literally. Okay, that's really weird, but that's what I did. And I'm thirsty as can be. Okay, that will do it. Pizza will do it, right? So this was said on Yud Beis Tammuz Tavshin Daled. Okay, we just celebrated Yud Beis Tammuz. The Rebbe calls it here Yom HaGeula, I think. We'll see. It's right in the beginning. He brings a Rogachover. That's the person who gave the Rebbe smicha. The Rogachover, gone. One of the greatest geniuses in this in 1,000 years. Okay? His Torah is gems. Gems. Y.Y. Jacobson does some shirim on the Rogachover, his ideas. I've written about him also because of Y.Y. Jacobson. Awesome, awesome stuff. The finest, most beautiful Torah, like the Niglev Torah more, that you'll ever see. Because it resonates at all levels, it's beautiful. So regarding the Beis HaMikdash, the Rogachover teaches us that the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash is something that's ongoing. It's not a one-time event. Okay, it's not something that happened thousands of years ago that we mark on the 17th of Tammuz, which was yesterday, and today's we're fasting for it. And Tisha B'Av, it doesn't say Shiva Sarva Tammuz. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. It says the 3 weeks rather. And every day we say Sechazen and Shuvcha B'Tziyam Rachamim Espalim Al Geula. We daven for redemption. We talk about something that happened over 1,900 years ago. But the Rogachover, God says it's not a historical event. It's not a historical event. The Churban Beis HaMikdash is as a daily occurrence. Something that happens every day, and we contribute to that process, as you'll see. It's not a Musar talk, okay? This is the Rebbe telling you how to relate to our circumstance. If we had any idea of the impact of our mitzvahs and the damage done by our aveiros, we would have no free will and we would never sin again. True. Very true. It's a very deep concept. You could pass that over as being very simple, but it's very deep. Very, very deep. Think about it. Okay, so the Rogachover teaches us it's an ongoing event, it's daily. He brings a Yerushalmi here that says it's generational, not daily. Okay? But the Rebbe interprets the Rogachover to mean that it's daily. It's awesome. So the Rebbe learns from this that how much we have to scream ad masai. When is it going to be enough? Living in exile. That's not the way a Jew lives. That's not the way of a Jew. Jews, God's precious. Would you treat your precious like that? Throw them out of their house? Would you do that? Would you take it every day they're banging on the door? So the Rebbe says, bang on that door. Scream ad masai. Not just words. Say that in every aspect of your life. I'm going to have integrity in every single aspect of my life. Every single moment. Try and do that. Right? Take the Boruch Merkur Ice Bucket Challenge. 1 week of doing that, you're guaranteed your whole life has changed. Guaranteed. Okay? Take the Ice Bucket Challenge. It's the silliest cultural phenomenon I've ever witnessed, okay? So the Ragav Shavar, it says, it's explicit in Yerushalmi, the Talmud Yerushalmi, it says, Kol der she'ena nivna beis hamikdash b'yamav ma'alim ha'ki'ilu hu hechrivai. Any generation in which the Beis Hamikdash was not built in its days, it's considered as if that generation had destroyed it. Right. Kalamer, meaning to say, from the time the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, it's been thousands of years on and now it's Parshas Pinchas on Thursday. We've davened Maariv, and the Beis Hamikdash wasn't built today. We should have to know that the tzakal geula tzricha liyos, screaming for redemption, has to be ki'ilu charav v'yem chamishi Parshas Pinchas. The Rebbe screams. The Rebbe screams these words. You cannot imagine the fire. If you think that I'm scary, go check it out and see what a real leader of people does, because he cares. Okay, see the way a leader talks to people when they listen. Okay, you here are my listeners. I know people leave at times when I start screaming. I know that, but there's people that hang around still. That means that they want to be charged up in these aspects, in these areas. It's true. The fact we're making for bringing in, celebrating the day of the redemption. How can we be talking like this? Yehudim hisraglu. We become accustomed, that it's asked of them. They're accustomed. They're used to being told that they have to live with diametrically opposing opposites at the same time. Okay? That's called nimna hanimnois. The ultimate paradox. Nimnais bebas achas at once. And he says there explicitly it has to do with the soul being tied up with the goof, that you live against your will. You have to understand that you live against your will because you're a soul. And you're forced to be in a body, but you still are told on the other hand the opposite. That you have to be very cautious to take care of yourself and be healthy. And you should take that with joy. Approach a life of health and in all respects. Okay, look up the halachas the Rebbe tells you here. He says, mitzvahs nishmartem eid lenafshei seichem. Those mitzvahs of taking care of yourself, you should do that with joy. I think that's an awesome point here in this whole context of getting people really, really riled up. And he has to go spiritually, he has to go go out of himself completely. And at that point, he realizes he only lives against his will. The Baal Shem Tov said that when he went into Daven, it was a miracle he came out alive. Can you imagine what that means? A miracle to come out alive? He says that's the Machaya Mesim. God revives the dead because his soul was flying out of his body. Have you ever had that before? You have a first-hand experience of that? You should at least want it. Don't be afraid of all the good that's coming to every person. Talking about everything you imagined times a zillion. Okay? There's a lot of good in store, but it's a process of us allowing it in, especially now. Now, I've so many sources the Rebbe said that everything is available now. This is something that's real and different now in our times. Here the Rebbe is talking about having a soul of kleis hanefesh, and he said he's forced to stay alive. So that's this nimna haimnois, this impossibility that's asked of a Jew. And he celebrates also the connection of his soul with his body, not allowing himself to have kleis hanefesh, resisting that because he realizes he has a mission. He has to be in this world. You cannot be completely aloof. You have to relate to people. It's very hard for me to relate to people in certain respects, okay? Everyone has that in their own area. I think that's just a way for allow this idea to resonate to some people that are not experiencing kleis nefesh. They can know how to apply that in their life because the Rebbe is speaking to everybody here. I'm trying to help you see that. Since yesterday we screamed at Masai, until when? Shil Shem Taku at Masai, and the day before that we screamed at Masai, B'kol Yam Shalif Nezet Taku at Masai, and all the days before that we screamed at Masai, V'achakak Rachman Litzlan, and afterwards. God save us. Charav Beis HaMikdash Hayem B'Beker. Today the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed in the morning. Hayem B'Tzorayim. Or today in the afternoon. Muvan Mekach. So it's understood from this how much there has to be that scream Ad Masai now. Take this moment. Scream. I mean, don't scream. Make a commitment. That's what the Rebbe is talking about here. Commit yourself to live in a way that you're building the Beis HaMikdash. That's what the Rebbe is saying. Look at all the Maimarim of Basi Lagani. I've translated like a lot of them. Okay, every year I've been doing that for about 6 years, 7 years. I don't know. It all speaks about building the Beis HaMikdash, okay? That's the flip side of this. This is talking about the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, but there's always the opposite embedded in any idea. You can't have light without darkness. So you're always talking about two things at once. There's just the negative and the positive, with the chiyuvi and oh my goodness, it's slipping my mind. Chiyuvi is positive, negative is, it's slipping my mind. Okay, it's not important. Important to me. Okay. So that the Beis HaMikdash, we have to understand, is being destroyed any day that's not built. Shlila, thank you. Shlili. Chiyuvi Shlili, thank you. Appreciate that. Now it's not going to distract me. I can move on to something else. The destruction of the Beis HaMikdash is a process, not an historical event. The Beis HaMikdash was not destroyed until the Shechina fled, and we are the Shechina in the world of soul. That is beautiful, beautiful idea. Thank you for sharing that. The Rebbe goes on. Check out these words. V'kamur ein ze inyan shel pshetel. This is not a trick. You're just finding some trick in the Torah. Wow, that's a cute thing. It's not this. It's not a pshetel. Ella halacha brura. No, halacha b'Torah. Sorry, I read it wrong. It's a halacha in the Torah. HaTorah meres. Shemi shaloi nimna Beis HaMikdash b'yamav. Malim alav ki'ilu kach v'kach. The Rebbe screams those words kach v'kach. This and this. All those things that he's talked about. How it's being destroyed. Someone who doesn't experience the building of the Beis HaMikdash. He didn't do the Basi Lagani Avodah. The whole Avodah of building the Beis HaMikdash. The Krashim Amdim. The Rebbe speaks about all those amazing ideas. Just beautiful concepts. We'll get that to that another time of the year. Taru la'atzmachem. Kasher nechar Beis HaMikdash v'ayimid sham Yehudi shehu Yehudi kasher. If there exists a Jew that is a tough Jew, what kind of toughness? Yehudim Evan, a Steinerid, a stone Jew. Not a stone Jew, not bad. A Steinerid, a stone-like Jew. Im leva Evan, with a heart of stone. Be compassionate. Don't have a heart of stone. V'raya eich necharav Beis HaMikdash b'yamav, and he sees how the Beis HaMikdash is being destroyed in his days, meaning in his actual day. He would turn over the world. In Yiddish, that's the way he said. He screamed those words. So I made a publication called Karaveltaint. World Upside Down, I called it. I have the originals. Some of them are so wild. You can't believe it. Oh my goodness, my Aunt Leanne. Nice to see you. My cousin Lee. My goodness, I'm totally spaced out. My cousin Leanne, she's only a few years older than me. I hope your mother's doing well. That would be my aunt. Okay, so we learned about Keravelt Heinz, which means turn the whole world upside down. Be impassioned about something because there's a lot at stake. That's the Rogatchover's Chiddush here, and the way the Rebbe interprets it. They take Yerushalmi that says it's talking about a generation, and the Rebbe interprets that to mean a day. We see the Alter Rebbe does that also about seeing that you went out of Egypt. I don't remember exactly how. If it's, he says it's daily. I think it's the Chiddush of the Alter Rebbe. So here the Rebbe makes this Chiddush. I think it's the way he interprets the Rogatchover. I think it's the Rebbe's Chiddush. He doesn't say Yesh Leimar there, so it's not obvious. I'd have to look up the Rogatchover myself, which I'd really like to do. I haven't had time to do that yet. It's been a rushed session today. I know I said something inside, which is a bit unusual for me, but this I wanted to do. I translated it last night, so I could post that once I edit it. Okay, I hope everyone has a meaningful fast, whatever that means. I have no idea what it means. It means my lips are dry. It means it led me to talk about these things. A wise person once told me that. And that's the purpose of a fast, to let the ideas resonate. So we mark it with a fast, just to a conversation piece. That's what it is for us today, because we don't feel anything beneficial from fasting. I don't. Everything, including the final redemption, depends upon the strength of one's desire. Right? So a lot of people are fearful. So they don't allow themselves to have that desire. I believe everyone has passion in them. I just can't imagine that God creates the walking dead. I think it's buried with, like the way people overeat and they bury themselves in fat. I think people do that on their souls also. They numb it. It's important to be passionate in everything you do, I think. Even if you're, God forbid, off the path. I think there's sources like Gemara that even says that. Even though people talk the other way. I mean, obviously you have to follow halacha. I'm not telling you to break halacha. But there's a respect there for being alive. And there's an appropriate way to express that, not by covering it over. Remember, that's the ashes of the red heifer, which we spoke about a little bit. It's a generic force that can be used for anything. The ashes is the nefesh bahamas. That's what's left, is the earthiness of a person, what draws a person down, the gravity. We spoke about gravity the other day in different, we didn't use the word gravity, but that's what it's talking about, the way in our language. Okay, guys. Anything else? Some really nice thoughts that people shared. Or having a great day, so powerful and excellent. Thank you for sharing. That's so sweet. Thank you. Good morning, Shani Kletz. Thanks for all the hearts. That's awesome. Lights up my day. It's like a smile. Okay, I know it's really late and it's ridiculous not to daven by this point in your day, especially when it's a fast day. It's crazy, but it's tough. You got to make decisions. I don't know. I had to eat. I had to eat before. I don't starve all day. Eat at 3 a.m, like in Meshuggah. Shavua Tov. I can't even fathom that it's Sunday. Sunday fast. Okay, I guess we get to sleep a bit. You're not supposed to sleep on a fast day. Okay. Can't have a sip of water to enjoy that moment. Just coming down, facing the universe again. Okay, so thanks for joining me. Have a meaningful fast, and I don't know, let's bring the spiritual kayach of the energy of Shabbos to illuminate a lot. I've learned a lot about Shabbos this Shabbos. I learned the Mimer of the Mittler Rebbe. It's awesome. Maybe on a Friday we'll do that. That'll be fun. It's really, really amazing stuff. And I saw some amazing stuff. Rabbi Markel posted more incredible things. Okay, really provocative ideas. Check him out. Expand your mind. Don't be a sheep. Come out of that. Be alive. Light up the world. I've been saying, Bli Nader, hello and good Shabbos to everybody that I see. Women, I don't so much, okay? So I'm prude. I nod or something. I've tried that. That's actually more for me. I think that's respectful. To ignore people, I think is wrong. They say, even I read, You're supposed to make eye contact with homeless people. I find that very, very hard. I think it's probably right, but I find that very hard. I don't want their thoughts in my head. I don't want that. Usually they're sick people, and I don't feel like it's my job in the world to cure people with medical issues. So once you're at a medical state, I can't help you. Someone who needs professional help, I can't help. So I don't want to be just drawn down. I can't help. Maybe I could smile at him. I'll think about that, whether it's worth it. I know the Rebbe did not spend much time with people with disabilities. He gave them a lot of love, but he did not spend extra time with them. I thought that's interesting to note. There's also a story about a Meshuggah that jumps out of a bush behind, I think the Rebbe, like, Balas Tshuva, they say, okay, whatever. She was a Balas Tshuva, apparently. She jumps out from behind a bush in front of the Rebbe's house and say, I want to spend your Pesach Seder with you. Because I was crazy like that too when I first started. I wrote a letter to the Rebbe in code, and I gave it to him, and he read it. I mean, I wrote about that, okay? Check that out. He was in his hospital bed. Someone read it to him. This crazy letter that I wrote. So I did something similar to that, because Baal Teshuvas are a bit wild, because we're entering a new world. Yeah, everything. We're gone. The whole world's completely different all of a sudden. This lady apparently, that's what I heard, jumped out from her bush, asked the Rebbe this. The Rebbe said, Das ist nicht unser Minhag. It's not our minhag for the Chassidim to invite themselves to the Rebbe's Tish. Because Pesach's interesting in that you're supposed to invite yourself over to people's houses, because you can't invite anybody because they might be on a higher level when it comes to concern about chametz, about leavened products. So you can't invite them. So you're allowed to invite yourself. So she's probably thinking that. I mean, I never thought about this before till now. She's probably thinking that. I just learned this teaching. You're supposed to invite yourself over for Pesach. So why can't I do it with the Rebbe? The Rebbe's my father. Who's my father if not the Rebbe? Who cares about me more than the Rebbe? Nobody. I have a father, Baruch Hashem. I love my father very much. He inspires me very much. But how can anyone be the Rebbe is everyone's father? So, but the Rebbe stood up for his own dignity and said it's not our custom. I thought that was, because that's about the most forceful I've ever seen. Once I saw the Rebbe throw, no, he didn't even throw it. Okay, I'm sure there's some stories that are more emphatic. Once the Rebbe punched someone in the face, I heard. Before he was Rebbe, though. To protect people from being crushed, I think he had to punch someone in the face. Or slap. I don't know what he did. That's what they say for bringings. That's awesome to think about. I can't really understand that. But here the Rebbe is being a bit severe and establishing boundaries. So that's important. The Rebbe let all his Sfardim kiss his hand. He didn't make that boundary. So there's times that the Rebbe allows, because the Chassidim did not touch the Rebbe. They would receive $1 from the Rebbe. I don't think they would shake his hands or anything. Okay, people who watch dollars know this much better than me. Hello, Rabbi Drizzen. I'd like to see for familiar names. Chaim Itchidrizen. Extra l'chaim. Okay, I'm out of juice, so have a great day, everyone.